better put this light on. Morning. I was just thinking about the ADHD and how it's affected my life. It definitely has affected my life. What do you think? He's just watching me talk. Are you impressed? No, you're not impressed. Daddy's talking about something, okay? You just stay there. Yes, you as well. I'm sure I've got this ADHD because there are so many things in my life that point to it, you know? I just woke up, so there's that kind of thought in my mind, that realization. So what I'll do is I'll think about it and just talk to you guys later in the car and take these guys out, of course. It's kind of liberating as well, you know, knowing that the reason that you were weird is there is a reason behind it. Like just being weird and not knowing why, you know, being weird and having ADHD. It's better to have ADHD than just be weird because you don't know where the source of your problems is. It's just a vague term, isn't it? Weird. Even here on the comment section, I get people. I think I'm misunderstood. I think one person says like fear of work, LOL, laughing. You know, taking the piss as if they know me. They don't know me. They don't know my problems, the problems I had in my life. They think I'm lazy. Yeah, maybe I am lazy. I don't know. We're all lazy in some areas, or we're not good at doing things in some areas. But I don't know. Is it laziness, or is it, you know, am I hiding behind a mental health problem because I don't want to work? Yeah, these are questions I have to ask myself. I don't mind asking myself these questions, but also it's not as simple as, oh, you don't want to work. That's why you create these problems. Is that true though? I don't want to work. That's why I create these problems. Could it be that part of my brain doesn't work properly and I think in weird ways and it creates problems whereby I have difficulty in working? So for example, I can't wake up every day. Like I can't attend meetings or go to an appointment. I've missed so many like dental appointments, doctor's appointments, because they're in the future. And a person that has ADHD, they have only two time zones or whatever. Now and not now. So now or never. So if someone says to me, okay, later on today at 2 o'clock, we have to meet in a shop, in a cafe. So my mind is busy thinking about it and thinking, okay, all right, today I have to go, and I'm less likely to forget. Or better still, if somebody says in an hour's time we have to go there, you know, so that's even more fresh in my mind. But if someone says in 2 months' time on a Wednesday, 3:15 p.m. you have to go to Norwich, and I'll forget. Most likely I'll forget. So I thought, oh, there's a problem with my memory. But it's not a problem with my memory. It's a problem with, it's called executive function, managing things. You know, like I want to clean my room, I want to clean the kitchen. And what happens with me is I start cleaning and I get really, really detailed into doing something. And then it overwhelms me. It's like a massive ordeal. Cleaning the kitchen becomes like a massive undertaking. Whereas it should be easy, shouldn't it? Just declutter. But when I do, I can't do that. Because when I start decluttering, I start thinking, where does this go? Where does that go? Where should I put this? I overthink. And that's bloody tiring. It's really, really tiring. So, you know, I might go to the supermarket and I'll talk to someone. Because I haven't spoken to anyone for the whole week. I'm all excited, you know, because I have that conversation hunger or starvation. I haven't spoken to anyone, or social starvation. When I come back home, I'm knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. I have to relax, maybe do something like watch YouTube, something that doesn't require any thought. Because whilst I'm outside, I check on the person's cues, the way they talk, even the way the person's shoulder moves, the tonality. I'm constantly thinking, you know, and I'm hyper focused, even though I don't mean to be, but I realize I am hyper focused, and that requires a lot of energy. So so another person that goes to the supermarket might use up this amount of energy, but when I go, I'm using this amount of energy. So when I come back home, it goes down, and so I think the body or the brain, because of homeostasis, it tries to balance itself out, and so it can't keep up that amount of energy. It has to actually go lower than this amount, and you end up feeling you've got no energy. You can't do anything. So some people who say, "Oh yeah, you're lazy, you have a fear of work." Who hasn't got a fear of work? I mean, do you love working? Which human being goes out there and just loves working? They love their work. I mean, yeah, it's fantastic for you because you're spending your time working for a boss, and he's giving you money, and you're doing something that you love. That's fantastic. But not the whole world doesn't like to work. Most of the world probably doesn't like to work. So yes, people do have a fear of work. LOL. Ha 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 ha. Ho ho ho. Lucky you that you don't have fear of work. I don't know. All this kind of judging is so weird. I've experienced this on YouTube because I don't socialize, but maybe I'm judgmental as well. Definitely, I must be. So I can't, as the Bible says, I have to look at, take the plank out of my eye before I even look at the sawdust in another person's eye. Or, those who haven't sinned cast the first stone. So yeah, I have to shut up as well because I definitely judge. I have judged and I will judge. Maybe less, but it's just something that humans do. Hopefully I can judge less or stop judging. It's almost impossible to stop judging because we have to discern. We have to make decisions, for our own survival. This person is good, that person's not good. We have to. It's an instinct. Well, anyway, yeah, going back to my ADD, I realize I have ADD. I definitely know. I've spoken to the doctor, and it's just like a formality. I have to fill in the assessment form. See, even filling in those forms, I find it difficult filling in those forms because a person who has ADHD doesn't like filling in forms, doesn't like looking at papers like bills and stuff like that. So that's why, like the receptionist, I said, "Could you write on a piece of paper, please? Because I need to have a scan for my liver. I need to have like a full blood count. I need to have an appointment with the doctor again. I think four things, 4 appointments." She wrote them all down for me, put it on a piece of paper. I don't know where the paper is now. That's what happens. That's what happens with people with ADHD. They forget things. They forget where their mobile phone is. And because the whole house is like untidy, disorganized, it's a massive headache. Good luck trying to find it. So now that I know I have this problem, I have to put in place certain, use certain techniques. So for example, put my keys and my phone in the same place every day, or I have the option of 2 places when I'm in my bedroom or when I'm downstairs. They can only be in 2 places. Yeah, I think there are lots of other techniques that people use or coping mechanisms, but it's nothing to do with being lazy, or it's nothing to do with a mental, how do you say, it's not, people who have depression and anxiety can also have ADHD. But what came first? I don't know, the chicken or the egg. But it's an actual physical problem. It's called neurodivergent. Normal people are neurotypical. Neurodivergent means that your brain works in a different way. So the frontal cortex, or something called executive function, doesn't work properly. Like that executive, that manager's gone. AWOL, he's not there. So our brains think differently, and it is a curse. It is a problem because on the outside it looks as though we're dull, we're slow, but sometimes hyper. So it has its good side and its bad side. What I have is, I think there are 3 types. There's a hyper, inattentive, and combined, which means hyper is like you're constantly fidgeting and thinking lots of thoughts. Inattentive is just that, someone could be talking to you and then you zone out. You don't know what the hell that person said. Or it can be combined. You can have a combination of the two. I think I either have combined or inattentive. I don't have that fidgetiness, but my mind does race. So you can't really see it. Maybe I'm good at masking, as they say. Yeah, looking at the people who have ADHD and their symptoms, or the symptoms of ADHD and how the brain works, I see myself. And it's nothing like you suddenly get it. You've had it all your life because that's the way your brain is structured. It's the way you were born. It's the way you're wired. So it's not as if, oh, I don't think you can get, some people say adult onset. Maybe they've had it all their life and they didn't realize. Like, I'm 57, and so I'll probably be 58 by the time I get the assessment. But I know already, this is my problem. This has been my problem all my life. And I didn't know. And, I've taken antidepressants for 31 years. And maybe I didn't need to, because this was my problem all along. But I was misdiagnosed. Initially, I was a little bit angry. I thought, these bastards, how can they make such a mistake? But then I thought, in the past, they didn't know much about it. But I'll tell you, even now, they don't know much about it, because I went to the doctor, was it last year? I was really depressed and anxious because I found out about, DIVORCE. And so I was angry, upset, So my doctor, she sorted out some kind of, like, peer-to-peer or something, some kind of meeting of people who've had depression, who've taken medication. I tell you, it was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. As I say, you get what you pay for. I spoke to a counselor, and the guy was okay, but he was a counselor, probably not really qualified. They qualified, but as I said, you get what you pay for. We just spoke about things, and so many things he didn't bloody understand. He didn't know about psychology and how the brain works, and But yeah, it was okay. I mean, I could become a counselor. Just have to listen and have your sheet of paper there and your script, and then just say certain things like a robot. But anyway, so I had an appointment with this lady, and I met her, and we spoke about stuff, and I had a panic attack, I remember, because I'd never met a person in like 17 years. Sat down, and so afterwards I said I'll meet her, and no, she said we'll make another meeting. So I waited for her to make another meeting. I think after about a few days, the meeting was for 3 weeks later at 2 p.m., in the same place. But people who have ADHD, as I said, there's only 2 times, now or never, now and not now. So basically, if the appointment is today or tomorrow, something like that, then it's easy to remember. But if it's 3 weeks' time at 2:30 at this location, it almost always you will forget. You have to have in place reminders. Now I understand this. Now I understand you have to have in place reminders like Google, the calendar reminds you. Even with that reminder, you can still forget. So that's what I'm trying to say is this is what is available, and this is the mental health team, and they still didn't realize that after 3 weeks I missed the appointment, and they struck me off. Basically, in their mind, they're thinking, well, if you can't come to the appointment, then you don't need any help. But actually, they're wrong. If you can't come to the appointment, maybe you have ADHD, So the services that are available are still like in their caveman stage. That's what I call it, caveman mental health services. They're rubbish, absolutely rubbish. You get what you pay for. On the NHS is absolutely rubbish. For 30 years, I've had no help, absolutely no help. Every once in a while, you go to your doctor crying, you've got some major event, and then he or she will say, oh, okay, we'll do something. And you have a few sessions of CBT. They'll give you some medicine, and they may do the CBT, the talking therapy, will be like some really low level kind of therapy, like that peer-to-peer thing. You have a person that's not qualified. She said, yeah, I've been on medication before. So I asked her, how long were you on it? A few months. And you're going to talk to me, like, I've been on medication for 31 years. We just don't compare. So, like, for example, when we're saying, if she's saying, yes, really difficult to come off, how the hell would you know? Coming off after a few months is not the same as trying to come off after 20, 30 years. There is a big difference, And, her depression, yeah, I've got a bit of depression. I said, oh, how did it affect you? Well, I've always worked, but so what kind of depression did you have? I mean, yeah, of course you had depression. I do believe you, but not to the extent where it's destroyed your life. So, like, the people that you look up to, you're supposed to look up to and get some kind of, I don't know, some help from. They don't have any experience in this area. They're given a script. They learn something, but they're just like a normal person. They probably have no qualifications really, just the qualification of talking and having some experience, a little bit of depression and taking some medication, and that's it. Okay, all right. And the thing is, when she sat down, you can feel that she feels superior to you, like, it's like she's some kind of therapist, when she really isn't. So it's just a waste of time. I mean, it was nice meeting somebody, and she went out of her way to, I don't know if it's volunteer stuff or they get paid, but I think she was out of her depth. She didn't know. I mean, some people, that's all they need. They needed somebody to talk to, but I think I needed more than that. And afterwards, when I didn't turn up, they just struck me off instead of asking the question, why does this guy, why couldn't he make the appointment? The thing I don't understand is, it's supposed to be the mental health team. ADHD, isn't it a mental health problem? I mean, well, it isn't. It's a neurological problem, but shouldn't they understand these things, Well, anyway, it was a load of garbage. And as I said, you get what you pay for. If those people don't understand, then how can ordinary people understand? Why haven't you worked all those years? You're lazy. You have a fear, a phobia of work. You're no good. Yeah, maybe I'm no good. Maybe ADHD is no good. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I can't change who I am. I can try, but it's not the same as someone being lazy, I don't think, because that implies you've got a choice. Maybe I don't have a choice. I mean, I can work around my difficulties. If I forget, I need strategies to remember, to remind me. Well, anyway, I'll speak to you guys later. I have to get up now. These babies have to get up as well. Yes, I'm talking about you two. All right, come on, let's get up now. Oh, yes, good boy and good girl. Oh, yeah. Oh. Always moaning. Oh. Okay, let's get up. Can you hear this sizzling? Shh, quiet. That's supposed to be a fucking pizza that my lovely wife has just made. Fucking hell. Take this away. I don't know what to do with it.
You are so heartless.